time I close my eyes.
Opportunity to go invincible, is that what you're looking at now?
Could be.
We've got the best young manager in the world in Mikel Arteta.
I can't even believe you're having a conversation about Liverpool in the title challenge.
If we can get a win at Anfield, Invincibles 2.0.
I could see us equaling what we done in 2002 and being unbeaten away from them.
It's going to be out of our sort of city, and I think we got the cojones to do it this season, and we will do it.
I feel that right now William Saliba is the best centre-back in the league.
He's just outside the centre circle, Evan Nilsson. He's got...
Oh my God, he's going to send him.
Red card from his pocket. William Saliba, central.
I fucking told you lot!
I expect 3-0. Wolves unbeaten in the last 10.
No, we won far. I think we beat Bournemouth.
Gone and fired in!
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Right footed, sends Ryan the wrong way.
Fucking shambles, man. Let me just keep it real, man. Like...
Yep, there we go, 2-0. Game over. Game fucking over. Dead and gone. Game done.
Today, got what we deserved.
Edison invented the light bulb. Today I want to see a team that is connected, because a bulb by himself is nothing. I want to see a team that is connected with each other and that shines. And you want to transmit to him light and energy and passion and how you play football, and you do the same. And each of us play the game connected. Because what it happens when we play connected, guys? What is the next thing that happens? That we connect with 60,000 people, that creates more energy. Because at the end it's electricity that through heat creates lights and lights. Because if not, it would be fucking dark if this guy wouldn't have the idea to do that. And I want you to play like this today, because as good as we are, it depends on one thing. What it makes us special is our attitude. And today I want you to play with that attitude. Go out there, fucking turn the line on and play football. Let's go! I don't see a team that wants to play in the Champions League. You want to play in the Champions League? Play to play in the Champions League. And the same to you and everybody. And everybody that comes on the bench to contribute, to help. We work so hard, guys. So hard to be here. And we give it away. Edison in base.
Slot, Pep, Arteta. Rank those three.
Pep, Arteta, Slot.
So he's just won the Premier League in his first season, no budging on that?
He's had an easy ride of it. Really, we would have won it if we hadn't had the injuries.
Arteta #1 for sure, and then Slot, and then Guardiola.
Yeah, Guardiola down there, yeah?
Definitely, yeah, he's done.
Arteta's got the best hitter, so I'll take Arteta.
Pep 1, Arteta 2, Slot 3.
Yeah, Slot, bang average, inherited Klopp's team. I won the league 4 years in a row with Everton. If I'm given an unlimited budget, I can win the league with any Premier League football club.
Oh, bloody. I mean, you've got to go Pep top because of everything he's won. Slot's obviously come in and done a great job. I put Arteta second just because, you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I think he's going to win lots of stuff. I think he's a great manager.
Slot, Pep, Arteta, obviously. Arteta's got so much to prove. You know, phase 6 of Arteta. If he doesn't win the UCL, it's a massive failure. I think Pep has, 4 Premier Leagues in the bank for him, and Slot coming into Liverpool, winning the Premier League is an incredible achievement. Unbelievable.
So winning the Premier League doesn't matter?
One season is not enough.
Yes, Gunners. North London is home now.
Oh, shut up, you cunt.
John Henry, great businessman, John. Thank you very much. Great businessman.
Harder! Get kicked, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry. Rap ruler, you can ask Buddha. Right jab like Zab Judah. Oh, he's it. Every member on my team is a shooter.
Shift
Night like a room, no room for intruder.
Skirt. Arsenal fans they're just beautiful people, man. They're beautiful people. Big up everyone. Thank you very much for joining us again. Vibes with Coppish episode 3, I believe. Yes, episode 3. Where we go chat and think about Liverpool title winning Liverpool and summer transfer window. But boys, how are you? Cal, good?
I'm all right, man. Champions, isn't it? I can't complain, bro. We're champions.
It's not a bad week. It's not a bad week. Drift. Obviously, we just did the watch along together, but how you doing, man?
Yeah, apart from that absolute travesty we just watched unfold, yeah, it was What do you do, man, when you just watch cheating of just the highest level right in front of you and you just can't do anything about it? It's crazy, but
oh man,
yeah, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The crazy thing is there are some good Arsenal fans out there. But what I find strange is that the Arsenal fan base is the opposite to normal. So for most fan bases, everybody's pretty normal. And then you've just got the outliers that are the crazy people who say stuff. But why is Arsenal's fan base the opposite? Why are the outliers the ones who are normal? Why is it that being an Arsenal fan, generally speaking, means that everything you say is just stupid? Like, it's so strange. Like, I want to know if they've just like come together as a fan base and said, let's just troll the world. Let's make our duty as Arsenal fans to just troll everyone and always just say what we know will annoy people rather than what the reality is. If all of those people truly believe Arteta's a better manager than Slot in that little clip that you showed, then I think a lot of people need medication.
I'm with you. Yeah,
no, I'm being serious, guys. I'm being deadly serious, bro. The guy actually had the cheek to look down the barrel of the camera and say one Premier League isn't enough. So what the fuck has Arteta done, you prick?
I don't know why.
I'm serious. Like, what? What?
Why do you keep getting surprised by these things, Drew?
No, we've put down
because at some point you believe sanity will prevail. I've been around long enough to realize that at some point sanity prevails, right?
Not all the time.
Oh my God.
Not all the time. Yeah.
You know what though? I love it though because it means that they'll keep Arteta forever. So
Arteta forever. That's their new song, not North London forever.
Yeah.
It'll be Arteta forever every night now. But guys, we are Premier League champions. You guys did an amazing watch along on Big Up for that game. Your reactions are priceless. I was watching the game with the wife, and I was just in. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I'm a grown man, but I teared up when we won that league. Yeah? I teared up, man. It was great scenes, emotional scenes, fantastic scenes, and you know, the boys obviously they loved it as well. They had a blinding time as well. But look, before we move on, we got Chelsea the weekend. Obviously, the last time we won the league, I believe we played Man City our first game after, was it?
Yeah.
We got smashed 4-0, weren't it? And
that was ugly.
Trent and Robbo couldn't, I remember Mane telling Trent and Robbo where to go and stand, if I remember correctly. They were just all over the shop. Do we expect the same again, or do you think there's going to be a bit more discipline this time, Cal? Because, Slot seems a bit more of a disciplined.
Oh, there'll be more discipline this time. Slot don't play that stuff. There'll be definitely more discipline. I just don't know how much the players will look. I don't like to use the term down tool. I can see Chelsea really going after it though, especially with the Champions League spot still to play for and all that. They probably will just be at it more than we will, but at the same time, we may go up a level because we may be extremely relaxed, knowing that the league's already wrapped up and we can kind of see out the rest of the season. So, knowing Slot in the way how he is, he'll definitely set up to win the game, and hopefully the players do the same.
Drift, obviously we want the victory, but no matter if Slot wants them to be professional or not, how much does the players got it in them to go the extra yard when they're already Premier League champions?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I've been trying to think with the preview coming up and stuff, think about what my opinion is on the game, and it's a tough one. It is a tough one. I can't blame them for not caring. But at the same time, we do want to try and get as many points as we can just so that the history books show a better tally at the end, because obviously nobody remembers the facts or the reasoning, right? They'll just look at it, and you don't want to be champions and you've only got 81 points or whatever. You know what I mean? You want to be more 90, 91, something like that, where you can what are we on now? Is it 82? What points tally are we on now?
We're on 82 right now. We're on 82.
We're on 82 right now. Yeah. So you want that to be at least 90 to just look better in the record books, right? And that means that we have to get minimum 3 wins out of the 4 games. And they're not even easy games. I'm not going to lie. Crystal Palace last day of the season might be the only one because they'll be thinking about the FA Cup. Because if I'm not mistaken, the FA Cup final is the week before that game, right? They've thrown the FA Cup in the middle of the week now, haven't they? On a Wednesday, I think it is.
No, can't be.
I swear when I was going through this, let me just double check that.
I would check it out. Surely,
I'm sure I was really shocked when I saw when the FA Cup final was being played.
So we can get
look. May the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, May the 17th is it is a Saturday.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it's before the season's over though.
Yeah. The season ends on the 25th.
So they'll already have won or lost the FA Cup final when we play that final game of the season. So if they win the FA Cup, then definitely not going to care about that game. But other than that, it's Arsenal, Brighton, and Chelsea who are 3 teams who are still going to give us a good game, I reckon. Arsenal will be for pride if they go out the Champions League, definitely. And if they go through if they go through to the final, possibly it could be an easy game because they'll maybe rest some players. And Chelsea are really fighting for Europe. So Brighton away is never an easy game regardless. So it's not going to be easy to get the points, but we're capable and we should.
94 points, isn't it? 94 points if we want.
I think 94 is the most we can get. So you want to hope we get 91 at least.
It's the 5th highest points total for a champion ever, I believe. 94 points.
No, it must be higher than that, would it not be?
Well, we finished on so you got the Centurions. Liverpool finished on 99. Chelsea finished on 95, didn't they?
City finished on 98.
They finished on 98.
Oh, did Chelsea finish on 95? What year did
Yeah.
Chelsea get 95 points?
0405.
A 405 season, wasn't it? When they only conceded 15 goals.
Yeah, they only lost one game.
I didn't know they got 95 points though, did they?
They destroyed the league, bro.
Yeah,
I know they were brilliant that year, but I didn't know they got 95.
I think they only lost one game. They had the highest goal scorers and only conceded 15 goals.
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, they lost to, was it Newcastle that season in the league?
Might have been. So it would be the 5th highest points total for a champion, which is a big statement, because what I don't want, I don't want us winning the title and then we lose 2 or 3 of our next 4 games, and then people just come back and go, oh, see, look, Liverpool are not really, we finished at a low points total and it's all that crap. So,
all right,
I'd like 2 wins and 2 draws will be fine, because that's 90 points, ain't it?
How would you feel if we played some of the fringe players from now to then? I think shout out to Luke Tannell's in the chat.
About pre-season,
we were saying this the other day, I think, when we was talking, almost like using this as a mini pre-season, a way to kind of judge who might stay, who might go. Because again, I want 94 points, like I think most Liverpool fans do. But if we could use this as like a period to look at other members of the squad potentially and see whether they may have a future or not. And let's say we lost 3 out of the last 4, but we got a clearer picture of what we need for the squad. Could that not be a good thing?
I would do it. I would love to see. I think Chiesa play a game at left wing. Let's have Endo just play central midfield for Graham Berkshire a game, or test out the players he's not sure about for next season.
Yeah.
Like your Harvey Elliott and stuff like that. But I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to go strongest.
Yeah, he will go. Yeah.
This is the reason why I think I hate social media, and I just hate like the new world we live in now, where everyone is just so concerned about other things, regardless of what the situation is. It does make me hate it a little bit, because think about it. When we were growing up and before social media, winning the league was all that mattered, because bragging rights was something that wasn't that big of a deal. Whereas now, look at this. Like, let's be honest. We really only want 94 points for nothing more than greed and banter, because we're champions. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
It don't
you know
matter.
what I mean? But we're so stuck in this bubble of showing off and bragging rights and everyone bantering each other and all that stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it is fun and I do enjoy it sometimes, but then sometimes I think it's ruining things, man, because we're champions. Should we really give a shit whether we get 94 points or not? Like, honestly, like, it really doesn't matter, other than to show off about records. And records are just to banter other people, aren't they? So it's like,
I think it shows professionalism, though, Drew, because
if you mean it, you're about it next season.
But you don't need to be professional when the job's done, though, bro. That's the job's done. We're champions. It's over, bro.
But there's still games to play. So it is that air of professionalism as well, because you still pay. The job's not finished. The job's finished when the last whistle goes on the last game of the season. So effectively, yeah, you've won a trophy and it's an amazing accomplishment, but the job isn't done yet, because we still have games to play. So effectively, even though you may have accomplished something, you still got to be professional to the end.
No, but there's a difference between being professional and being like all in. Like, I think you can be professional, you can still train, you can still show up, but you don't have to give 100% to be professional. You've won the league. Like, I don't think giving 90% now is being unprofessional. You've achieved the goal. Like, what's the point pulling a hamstring playing at 100%? What's the point, bro? You're not playing for anything. Do you get what I mean? Like, literally, you're not playing for anything. I ain't tearing my hamstring and being on the treatment table in the summer for nothing. Do you get what I mean? Like, we've won, guys. Like, we're champions.
But it's not for the
game.
It's for the shirt. It's for the badge. Like, like, if you're playing for Liverpool, it is what it is. Like, you give 100% every game if you're playing.
I would love Liverpool to come out.
Once the league's over, I think you're allowed to drop off a bit. I'm not going to be mad if they're not playing.
I don't think any of us.
I'll be honest. If I'm watching Liverpool play on Sunday and I feel like they're not giving 100%, I'm going to be annoyed.
Yeah, I can understand that.
We won the league now, man. I'm not going to let that ruin my mood.
You know what it is? What if Slot's looking at it and going, testing them a little bit here? Maybe like a little test here, like, right, yeah, we won the league with games to spare, but let's see whose heads dip. Let's see whose performances dip, but whose performances stay level. Because I think that's important for managers sometimes, because they know what they got for next season. And maybe he'll treat it like that, because I don't see him doing any rotation. I'll be shocked if he does.
No, but again, I'll be annoyed at that though, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, because that would just scream to me foolishness. Like, come on, man, the league's over now. Let the Endos and the Elliots and the Chiesas of the world get some game time. For fuck's sake, they're part of the squad and they didn't really get much love during the season. Yeah, all right, the pressure was on, whatever. It's over now. Let them get some game time. It won't make any sense to me if he still plays the first 11 that won the league. I just think it would be really silly, man. I don't see the point. I really don't see the point.
I think players like Salah, they're going to play, man. Salah's going to
understand. I can understand. But again, as much as I want Salah to get all these records, and trust me, I do want him to get the records for how great it will look for him. Personal glory, again, should never take precedence over the team. So if he wants to play Chiesa for a game because he wants to give Chiesa some game time, so be it. It's not Salah FC, it's Liverpool FC, right? So if Salah doesn't get the record, it'll be disappointing, but it's about the team. So I'm just not about this. Yeah, everybody who's played all season should still play in these games, and you know what I mean. Like, if I'm Chiesa sitting on the bench for the next 4 games, I'm gonna be so annoyed. You can't even play me when it doesn't matter. You really think I'm a dickhead?
Well, let's go to Chiesa, because this is an interesting one. Have you guys read that story about Chiesa today?
With the Plymouth stuff.
So apparently the reason Chiesa hasn't featured much is because the coaching staff were not very appreciative of his performances against Plymouth when he started the whole game. I think when we watched that game, I think most of us were pretty disappointed in Chiesa's performance.
Diaz, Nunes, and Jota.
But I was about to say they were all awful as well. So
that can't be true.
That screams lazy journalism to me again.
It sounds, but I think what people are trying to find out, I think, is what's the reason Chiesa can't get minutes. Because, the game against Tottenham's done at 4-1. We're Premier League champions. It's over. Darwin Núñez, like people would say, was the message on Twitter that he deleted sounded a bit, coming against the club, sort of having to go at the club. Everyone was saying he wouldn't play him because of the £5 million bonus and all that. And he brings him on before Chiesa, where it looks like we're trying to move Darwin on. And now people are wondering, what the hell has Chiesa done that he can't get a game when a game is finished and a title is won? What do you think's gone on there, guys? Is it just the fact that he doesn't think he's good enough? The fact that he just doesn't think he's fit enough? What is going on?
I almost feel like Slot is doing this to prove a point in the same way Klopp did this with Ben Davies. I don't think Slot wanted Chiesa. And I think this is his message to go. I think this is his message to the board that says, don't bring me someone I don't approve of, or else I'm not going to play them and you guys are going to just waste money. I feel like this is him this is his way of digging his heels in and saying, yeah, I understand we're part of a team, but don't give me someone I don't want at the club. And we can sit there and go, he must have agreed to it. His actions show he doesn't want Chiesa at the club. It seems like it. Very clear.
I'll be honest though, I don't like that. There's a number of reasons, but the main reason I don't like that is because he's still a human being, and regardless of whether you wanted him or not, you've got to show a certain level of respect now he's here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to make an analogy that kind of makes sense, it'll be like if, I don't know, you invited somebody around to your house and you thought you were gonna have like a grown-up evening. You was gonna like watch a stand-up where they'll be like cursing and stuff. You got alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Like he's gonna have, and then someone brings their kids. You'd be like, for fuck's sake. Like in your mind, you'd be like, for fuck's sake, man. You've ruined everything now. Like now it has to be a child-friendly day. Put the alcohol away. Like you've ruined the whole fucking evening. But you know what you wouldn't do is be horrible to the kids.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? Like you wouldn't be like, I fucking put them fuckers upstairs and lock them in. Like you wouldn't be horrible to the kids. You'd reluctantly be inclusive and you'd still be nice to the children. Little ones, do you want anything? Got some Haribos here. Rare. Do you know what I mean? You'd still be nice to the kids. Put the DVD in the other room. Would you lot want to watch? We've got Aladdin. We've got, monsters, whatever. You know what I mean? And you'd keep, you know what I mean? You'd make sure the kids were cool. Like, you wouldn't be like, make the kid feel shit about being here because they shouldn't be here. So, like, regardless of whether Chiesa was wanted or not, he's really doing his best to outcast Chiesa in that regard and like make it feel like are you telling me Chiesa couldn't have got some minutes against Tottenham to just feel a bit more part of the team during that moment?
He should have.
Do you get what I mean? Like, he's fucked up, man.
No, I agree, but Drift, can I ask you both a question?
Go for it.
If this is part of like a bigger picture, one thing that we used to really get annoyed with when Klopp was here was that it didn't seem like the owners would back him sometimes, or if they did, like that January where we needed centre backs, we got Kabak and Ben Davies. Like, put that into perspective, Kabak went to Norwich the next season and got relegated with them on very low points. I don't even know what happened to Ben Davies after he left Liverpool, respectfully to him.
No, I haven't got a clue.
If, let's say, Slot accepts this Chiesa signing, is there not an argument to say that this regime is going to potentially just go down that route and just start bringing in players he might not want? But because you've brought in Chiesa and you started playing it. By the way, I'm not saying I agree with Slot's approach here, but if he takes in Chiesa and he starts playing him and it does well, and then, you know, the next time Richard Hughes sees someone but Slot's like, nah, Richard Hughes just goes, I'm going to pull the trigger. You dealt with Chiesa's situation, you could deal with this one as well. Is it almost like a power dynamic struggle almost, and Slot kind of had to put his foot down from early and just be like, I ain't running with this nonsense. Whether, even if we don't agree with the method with how he's done it.
It seems like
the difference for me in that scenario would be the
obviously
comparison.
Chiesa's a top player, Ben Davies and Kabak were.
That's what I was going to say. The comparison wouldn't even be justifiable for Slot's behavior because Chiesa is a potentially used to be world-class player, and Ben Davies and Kabak were very basic footballers. So it would be understandable why Klopp got annoyed with those two. But regardless of whatever the situation is, it's like, all right, so Slot thought he was going on a date with Beyonce. He's disappointed, but he's still going with Alicia Keys. Brother, be happy still on the date, bro. Do you get what I mean? Like, regardless of whoever you wanted, Chiesa's still a bad boy. Like, so to show that level of stubbornness would almost be worrying. Do you get what I mean? And then on top of that, it would be, well, isn't this the whole point of why people say you're supposed to have a director of football? Apparently, director of football is a better person to trust with transfers than the manager, right? So isn't this supposed to be the thing of shut up and coach the team? This is why you have a director of football.
No, because it's a collaborative approach. Like, they've been vocal about this. This isn't Richard Hughes says you're getting this player, deal with it. It's we'll all sit down around the table, we'll discuss what we need, and we'll come up with some names, and then we'll try and get these names. It's never been.
But isn't that why Edwards walked away, Cal? Because he didn't like that. He kept getting vetoed by Klopp.
No, Edwards walked away because Klopp just stopped listening. Klopp just said, I'm doing what I want to do. I'd rather listen to
but that's rumours. We don't know it got that far. We just knew we know they kept clashing. No, we know they kept clashing. We don't actually know what happened between them.
Bro,
apart from they kept clashing. We don't know who was
Edwards left, Julian Ward took his place, then Julian Ward left. The moment he leaves, they come back. Bro, like Slot, even like Klopp, I think even Linders and Klopp were saying like these are the players that they wanted to get. Like, it's pretty obvious like what was going on.
I don't know, man. McAllister said that he wants to give a big shout out to Klopp and
Julian Ward. Yeah, Julian Ward was the last signing that he made
for both bringing him to the club. That means they were working together then, because clearly they're on the same page. So
that was one signing, Drift. Nunes, they weren't working together with Nunes. Carvalho, they weren't working together. That was Pep Linders.
No, but the point is, I still believe it's. There's no way that we can go, with these rumors, maybe, and then with these rumors go, nah, man, come on, that's just it's all rumors that they fell out.
But actions show it, though, Drift. The actions show it.
Yeah, bro.
No, but I used to say that all the time, and you lot said that it wasn't true when I was saying, but he doesn't play Naby and Ox. So when he says he loves them, his actions show they don't. And you lot would be like, no, I used to say he wants them. He said the squad's good, but his actions didn't prove that because he never played them.
He never played them because they were never available. When they were available, they played.
Oxlade-Chamberlain was fit from February to May, and he didn't play in one.
Towards the end, yeah, Ox didn't. But whenever Naby was available, Naby played decent amount of minutes.
He didn't, bro. He didn't.
When Naby was available, he didn't play decent amount of minutes.
He proved that he didn't really trust Naby.
But he also said that he's not going to sell anyone who
No. The
come
point
to
is,
say-
he would sit in the press conference and say, "I've got a great squad and I don't need anyone." But then
I
he
think
wouldn't play the players, so the proof was more in the actions than the words.
I think with Ox, I think because of his injuries, the teams bypassed him, and we got better players in positions where he could.
No, I agree with that, bro. But he
Yeah.
would sit in a press conference to say, "Ox is a good player. I don't need a midfielder."
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't play him. So I think he was lying to us to not make Ox look silly, to keep the owners out of the heat. Do you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, I don't know for a fact whether they truly fell out. I think it is still just rumors. But regardless of whatever the situation, if they're giving Slot players he doesn't want, it's not a good look. It's not. And then if Slot's throwing his toys out the pram and being disrespectful to the player that brings in, that's not a good look either.
What I'll always say,
anyway.
this summer, I think we'll give the last summer a bit of a blight because I think they all arrived at the same time, not knowing what a manager wants at that football club. So I think this summer's where we'll talk about that in a minute, where we see hopefully the real deal. Shane just super chatted though, and he said, hypothetical, are you taking a Premier League Cup double next season or a Champions League FA Cup double next season? I'm taking Premier League all day long.
Premier League Cup,
anyone. Also, guys, are we missing a potential situation here where it just might be that Chiesa doesn't train very well?
Yeah, Chiesa could be shit in training. We don't know. This is the thing. We don't know, do we? We don't know.
I'm saying that's the one thing that we're not privy to is training, because a player could be really good on the pitch, and might have a great reputation, but they don't train well. They don't merit a place in the team. And I'm not accusing him of not like training.
Yeah.
Saying maybe that's the perception.
Or maybe he literally said to him, "I'm not really going to give you much this year because this will be your transition year as it is mine, but get used to everything about England and next year will be the year when you'll be more involved." He genuinely could have said that to him.
That's what I'm hoping for.
He could have drifted. You just said we're 5-1 up.
And he still can't come on. That's the problem.
That's the only thing that makes it feel like.
Let's be real. If the game's 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1, and you want to see it out, get Endo on the pitch. The ultimate closer, gum shielding, sharp shot. We were 5-1 up. 5-1. With all due respect to Endo will play again between now and the end of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah. He'll probably start against Chelsea.
Endo wasn't needed in that game. No shade to Endo. Nothing but enough for the guy. You could have brought in Chiesa.
Well, you could have brought them both on, to be fair.
Well, do you know the mad thing is when Chiesa's come on recently, he's actually looked really good.
When was the last time he played?
The only poor game he's had this season was the Plymouth game, because the other games he's been all right when he's made cameos.
Yeah, he played Accrington Stanley. He was good. I didn't watch the PSV game, actually. I don't know how well he played in the PSV game.
I mean, it was like all right. You know what I mean?
Tom, I've got to say, Tom, I've made my apologies and I'm okay with them now. So, what you got to do, Tom, you just got to do a live video and apologise, and everything will be all right. Trust me.
Oh, Jay, this is why you've turned around.
Also, I've turned around on the fact that I don't think I say a lot of crazy stuff all the time. Yeah, right. But
I mean, straight away, that statement means this next statement.
No, he doesn't say crazy stuff. He says wild stuff.
Wild is different to crazy. Yeah,
wild.
Not in my vocabulary. They both stick together.
So my football takes I don't think are always that bad, but there's two things I've been wrong with. Yeah, and I'll admit this. I was wrong with Diaz, and I was wrong with Kvaratskhelia.
I respect that.
His name, by the way.
So yeah, I've been wrong with them. Yeah, Tom's fucked. Yeah. Sorry, Tom.
I still feel Kvaratskhelia is very. He, you know what? Pause. He blows hot and cold though, Kvaratskhelia. I'm not gonna lie. He does.
My missus.
I told you. I told you. Wild. Wild. I'll be honest, Drift. I think Kava is getting into that conversation of potentially best left winger in world football. He's in that conversation. He's getting into that conversation.
What?
Not yet.
But hold on, Jay. Who is the best left winger, them boys, in your opinion, in world football?
Luis Diaz.
The overall best winger in the world. If I'm taking this season out of the equation based on there's been quite a dip in form from quite a few people, it probably is still Vinny or Mbappe.
Vinny blows hot and cold.
No, but this season's the first time that's happened. Prior to that, he was pretty consistent. I mean, actually, to be fair, bro, I think we did the stats. He's got like, what was it, Jay? Was it 22
Vinny
goals?
blows hot and cold, bro.
Do you know what? I think a lot of left wingers are quite similar. I think there's a lot. Who would you say are the elite level left wingers at the moment? Like the elite.
There's not that many elite, if I'm being totally honest with you.
I would. All right, so I know Mbappe doesn't play through the middle, but Mbappe,
Crava,
Rafinha this season,
yeah,
Vinny, Crava.
I don't know if Kvaratskhelia can go in that conversation, man. I don't.
In terms of current world football status, I think he has to be in that conversation.
I don't know. Like, I personally
there's
think
not a lot, is there? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
look at
we are quite starved of left.
when you
wingers
look at
in the world.
everyone else, everyone's quite whoever's better on their day sort of scenario, ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you got Nico Williams, Luis Diaz. You know, I think Luis Diaz is overall probably a better left winger, but Nico Williams on his day can be exceptional. You know, Leao. Every time I watch him, I watch a lot of Italian football. The man's got no balance. He's got a great first touch, and he just falls over all the time. It's mad. I've never seen anything like it. But then he can be an exceptionals in moments. Where you look at Crava, a lot of the time Crava is quite consistent with his performances. So I think a lot of left wingers are in that. With the Chiesa situation, it's the fact that Chiesa don't play because everyone in front of him is better.
So here's the thing. I know it's going to sound like a really crazy shout. I think if everyone's on top form, everyone's fit and firing on top form, I think Chiesa's our best left winger. And that's no disrespect to Diaz or Gakpo. If you look at someone's top form, what they can produce, I think Chiesa would be our best left winger, but I don't know if we're ever going to see that Chiesa again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, what Diaz and Cody do for Liverpool and what Salah does for Liverpool right now in the game, the way they play, the Slot just feel like Chiesa can't do that right now, and that's why he doesn't play.
Maybe it's down to his lack of being able to press as well. Maybe.
We say that, but even the goal he scored in the Carabao Cup final.
No, he pressed and won the ball from there, didn't he? So he can do it, yeah.
I don't see any of our forwards receiving the ball how he received it and scoring their weaker foot. I love Salah. Salah's my guy. If Salah receives that pass and then has to score that type of shot with his right foot, he's not scoring that. Cody's not scoring that. Diaz isn't scoring that. I'm not saying they can't score from that position, but they're not scoring that type of goal. That was an instinct finish. And that was him in the cold. He had God knows when he came.
I think we can obviously say there's something that we're all not in tune with behind the scenes that some reason he don't play.
Yeah, it's just
because I look at his contract. He got a 4-year deal and 150 grand a week. That's a player coming to the club that they believed in.
How much did you buy him for again, Jay?
I think it's 12 mil because Juventus didn't want him, so we got him cheap. But we gave him a big contract. We don't give a lot of people 154 grand a week, 4-year contracts.
All right, so it's 12 mil. You said, yeah,
yeah.
All right, so 600k a month
over 4 years.
I'm just gonna do 12 months. That's 6 million. That's 6 million he would earn if he's here. So he signed in August, right? So let's say 10 months then. That's 6 million and plus the 12 million we bought him for. So in total, we'd have spent 18 million on him.
It's not a lot of money.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think we could flip him in the summer and get 20 million from an Italian club. So effectively, you're not losing anything.
You know what? Even though I'm just looking at that Chiesa goal right now, and it was a brilliant finish from Chiesa, don't get me wrong. But I do think it's a bit of an exaggeration to say that he's the only one. I think Jota and Gakpo and Diaz.
No, there's a reason I never said
even. I think all our wingers could.
There's a reason I never said Jota because Jota's weaker foot is very good.
Yeah.
I think all of our forwards could score that goal personally. I don't think that goal was so special that it's like no one else in our team could have.
I'm not saying it's a special goal, but that's a clinical finish. Like you're hitting that across the goalkeeper at pace side netting with your weaker foot. Diaz and
I
Gakpo
still
aren't
believe
doing
our
that.
other forward could have done that. I do.
There's no evidence they've done that though. Not on their weaker foot.
So
Not
Yeah,
driving.
I'm sure if I go through the catalogue, I'll remember moments where they've both done good
Big up.
finishes with weaker feet.
Be it Asher the Super, he says Ian Graham book says it took Klopp one conversation to be convinced to sign Salah. Idea Klopp was dead against Salah is a lie. My take is Klopp wanted more power and Edwards wanted more power too. Yeah, I think he just came to it happens. It happens.
That narrative was to just discredit Klopp. To just say Edwards is the reason we got all those players, and if Klopp would have got his way, we wouldn't have been good. That's just the narrative to just discredit Klopp.
When you actually listen to the interview, it wasn't. It might have been one conversation, but they had to very much convince him. And it was not because Klopp thought that Salah was crap. By the way, he was just all in on Brandt, and Brandt at the time was a very good footballer. So it's not like Klopp thought Salah was crap and didn't want him. It was just that he wanted someone else. That's why he had to be convinced.
A lot of people forget as well that it's easy in hindsight now to think about the players, but at the time, Brandt and Götze were ballers. So it wasn't like Klopp wanted some dead use. Do you get what I'm saying? And even said himself, Mane was still high up on his list regardless of the Götze stuff. He tried to sign Mane at Dortmund. So like this narrative that it was like, like he didn't like these players and he didn't want them, that's rubbish. You know what I mean? It's just
they just weren't his first choices.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't mind having B plan. That's the thing about having good sporting directors, though. Like if the manager's A plan doesn't go, the good sporting directors have got very good backups that can come in. You convince the manager and you go, and then it works perfectly.
I agree. But did that dynamic stop because Klopp was obviously able to have a situation where he wanted Brandt, but they convinced him that Salah was the better player to go for.
I think it all fell apart with Darwin. I think that's where it all fell apart
in the end. Because maybe they're not needed.
Because Ian Graham's book also, I think Ian Graham's done an interview actually spoke on this on Sky Sports. I believe it was.
They did not want Núñez.
They didn't want Núñez, and when Klopp came to him with Darwin, they were shocked by it because they didn't see Darwin as a Bobby Firmino replacement because we don't play to Darwin's strengths, and we never have done. That's why Darwin struggled, in my opinion, because we don't play to his strengths at all. He'd be better in Spain than that. But
this is the thing for me as well. I know that your director of football is important and the manager shouldn't have all the power. I get that. But I still believe that the manager is the one who should be allowed the final say, no matter who disagrees, because he's the one on the chopping board. The director of football's not sacked when you don't do well in the league. The manager's sacked. So I still believe it should be the manager's discretion more than anyone's as to who is coming to the team. I just do. I think we're getting obsessed with this director of football stuff now. I still believe the manager should be the one who's like, yeah, I'm the one who's going to get in trouble for this. So this is who I want.
Yes and no, Jeff. Like, say for example, Jay says, "Cal, can you decorate this room for me?" And I go, "All right, I'm gonna buy matte paint." And you're like, "Cal, no, I've done painting for a while, Cal. Use silk on the wall. Jamie's got kids, easy to wipe off." And I'm like, "No, I'm using matte." You're gonna get to a point where you're like, "Bro, I know better than you with this particular situation, but you're just being stubborn. Why are you doing?"
Yeah, but that would mean you're an amateur painter. Like, we're talking about a world-class manager who knows what he's doing. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, we're not saying he's not world-class, but is his talent ID world-class? And I'm not even trying to take shots there.
Yeah, he proved it. Look at his Dortmund days, bro. In his Dortmund days, look how many players he bought.
And he worked with Zorc at Dortmund. He worked with Zorc at Dortmund. I'm not trying to take anything away from Klopp, but he worked
good managers and a good sporting director.
Yeah, that's the partnership.
Yeah, but it was still his talent ID, though. Do you get what I mean? Like, he still knew these players were that. Remember, that was why they brought him in. Remember, because they were like, "Look, we've got no budget. We need you to use your skills, your talent ID, and your coaching to make us great without money." So he went around the world and he got the players that, I'm just saying, I think the manager should have the final say.
I think a world-class coach should be able to coach anyone that comes in. And that's what Klopp did. So to his credit, because he's a world-class coach. And I think what you got to look at as a sport, what way football is now, because football is so daily, it's everything. It's every day there's games. It's football. I think what they're trying to do now is just the manager just coaches the team and he doesn't have to worry about everything else. So you don't burn them out. They just concentrate on one aspect of the game. You employ other people to do that, and you work together nicely. Like, let's be fair here, Klopp, and when we was at our best, our team being built, Michael Edwards and Jurgen Klopp were the best two in the business in football at that time. Because they were working beautifully together, building the club together beautifully. And then for whatever reason, it disappeared. I'm hoping Slot and Richard Hughes have that same relationship where they build the team again to keep going and keep going. Now, so you want to take the pressure off the manager to let the world-class coach and put his stamp on, and then let the other people behind the scenes do their bit. So it's meant to be a good work. Look at Man United. Look, they can have good managers, but the people behind the scenes are fucking them over constantly and buying players because they look good on YouTube clips or something like that, or they got big followings. And then they don't work for that manager. So you sack that manager to find a manager that will be able to work with that player. Yeah. But it's all a structure football now. I thought it's just the way it is, ain't it? It's just the way it is. Shane said, by the way, Diaz is streets ahead of Nico Williams. I agree. Because Diaz says, love the show, just saying, keep the good work up. Be up you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Talking about Diaz. So it looks like Luis Diaz could be staying, guys. Obviously, reports most of the season is that Liverpool will be looking to get not to let him go. If a good bid comes in for him, he's not needed no more. And then recently, they're talking about giving him a brand new contract, Cal. Now, Luis Diaz, if you look at left wingers who Liverpool can buy around, if you're not going to the elite level to get the elite level, if they're unattainable, Crowther, people like that are going to be unattainable because they just left for their clubs. And then you look at the level under the elite, where Luis Diaz may be, and you compare him to all the other players, is there a point of getting rid of him? Because if you're not upgrading on the player, and you know what the player can actually do, why would you let him go?
So for me, there's only two reasons to. All right, so I wouldn't. I flip-flopped on this. I'll hold my hands up. The reason I wouldn't want Diaz to go now is because how multifunctional he is across the front three. And for me, if Diaz and Gakpo, I think you can get someone who's either just below them but a lot younger, just at their level, or I don't think we can buy anyone who's available who's outright better than them. But if you can get someone either at their level or just below their level, but with a higher ceiling, I think we should do it. But if I'm going to be honest, I would like to see Diaz implemented in the central areas now. I know everyone speaks about how many goals he's got this season. A lot of those goals have come from the false nine position,
central areas,
as opposed to the left wing. If you actually look at his left wing numbers, a certain wise man called Jamie Phillips did mention it. But if you look at where a lot of his goals have come from this season, it's actually been through the centre positions as opposed from the left. So if we talk about, and this feels eerily similar to the Mane situation, if we talk about Diaz as a left winger, I think he's very much upgradable. If you talk about Diaz, the footballer, he's not easily upgradable.
No.
And because of that reason, that's why I'd be happy if Jota and Nunes left in the summer. And I'd love to see Diaz now become one of the rotational strikers, depending on your position. And I think that takes a little bit of the pressure off getting two strikers. Because I think then, because Luis Diaz, in my opinion, has kind of proved this season that he can play well through the centre, the strike you bring in doesn't, in my opinion, have that pressure of coming in and saying he needs to hit the ground running or else it's done. We write him off. I think having that insurance policy of Diaz there is worth its weight in gold. Plus, it also means if we have any injury crisis up there, we've still got Diaz who can play left and right as well.
So, like, what you're basically saying is you think at this moment in time, Diaz as like second number 9 would probably be better going forward at this moment in time than maybe Diogo Jota. Yeah. You get an upgrade on Darwin, who's your main number 9, to get a new number 9. Got Diaz as that temporary 9 there who already knows the club. Yeah. And then you go and get a brand new left winger with pace.
Yeah, personally, yeah. So for me, yeah, if you can go and get another left winger that can rotate with Gakpo and then a striker. Look, if it was Isak we were going to go and get, then you can't really convince Luis Diaz to be a striker because he knows what the writing's on the wall, innit? But we're not going to get Isak. So any striker we do get, in my opinion, is going to be of a level where that striker can come and actually be very rotated, because we're in my opinion, we're not going to try and sign a world-class striker this summer because they're just not available, it seems, or we're not going to be in the running for them.
Dressed, what do you reckon, man?
I think it would be really stupid if we let Diaz go.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I agree.
Yeah, I tried to take my bias out of things when it comes to the players who I like, or the players that I like wanted at the club, and obviously Diaz was one of them. And I try and take my bias out and look at it from other people's point of view. And even when I do that, I still think a winger that's got 19 GA in the league, 24 GA in total, being told he's not good enough is just really confusing. Yes, he's had dips in form throughout the season, but I think loads of players have that. I think this strive for perfection where people think you've just got to be good for 38 games is unrealistic, and it's causing like a toxicity. And the crazy thing is that whenever Diaz dropped off, Gakpo picked up. And that's what you want, right? You want a healthy competition. Never ever can I remember competition as healthy with the options as good as we have right now, with Diaz and Gakpo to play left wing. Like I don't ever remember there being a role in the team, no matter where it was, centre back, midfield, no matter where it was, other than maybe goalkeeper. Now with Kelleher and Alisson, where the option is so good that they just fluctuate between the two, who's performing well and who's not, and they both just get the job done for you throughout a season. Like I don't really remember us ever having an option this well in one role. So I'm fine with left wing.
I think
but
I think the issue I've got with GA with Diaz is Diaz, he gets goals in bunches. So at the end of the season, it looks really good. But if you actually play out the whole season, they come in a concentrated period of the season when you'd almost prefer the goals to be spread out. Like Gakpo has been seen this season as like Liverpool's saviour if Salah wasn't about. But Gakpo just had a stretch of he was like scoring 1 goal a game for a good long period. But Diaz has actually got better GA than him this season. But also, if you look at Diaz's stats this season, he's played 30 on the left wing. He's got 6 goals and 7 assists in all comps. Centre forward, he's played 13 games. He's got 8 GA, 7 goals, 1 assist. That to me like suggests he's a player who's now more of a central player. If he's able to get those numbers in in a smaller amount of games, and arguably in a period where we actually probably went through a bit of bad form as well, some of those games in that period, for me, he's not that dynamic winger anymore that we kind of need now, because if Salah's getting double, tripled up on, you almost need someone on the other side who you can't leave free, because if you leave that person free, they're going to absolutely tear you to shreds.
but I'm not going to lie. If you actually go through the season and look at the games, Diaz actually didn't get goals in bunches at all. They're actually really spread out across the season. Like he didn't actually, he's only once scored back-to-back goals. No, twice. He's only scored back-to-back goals twice, so he actually doesn't.
But in those games, he probably scored for example, he scored 3 goals in the Champions League, which sounds respectable. It is respectable, but that came in 1 game.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the league, he's got a brace 3 times in the league.
I think what it is with our left wing is when Diaz isn't scoring, it's go to Gakpo scoring, ain't it? And when Cody's not doing the business, Diaz comes back in and does the business, which is all fair. But I think maybe we need a left winger who will do it continuously for a season. So,
but who does though?
I don't think and honestly, I don't think there is many. But what we're hearing a lot at Liverpool is that Slot apparently wants a lot of pace up front next season because we're too slow. Now, if they want to keep Diaz at the football club and give him a new contract, I think what they're planning to do with Luis Diaz next season is what Cal's saying, is make him the second striker at the club, move him out from that left side. He's the second striker at the club. He's an option at left wing as well in case there's any injury. So he's a good player to have. Cody Gakpo is still your second choice left winger, and maybe they're looking for pure pace on that left-hand side. So when Mo is getting doubled up on, you've got pure pace on the other side of the pitch where you can bring the ball over and don't have to worry.
But if that's the case, Jay, if that's the case, ain't it a bit weird that we was after Kvaratskhelia then? Because he's not lightning. He's a quick winger, but he's not lightning.
He's an outlier.
He's an outlier, yeah.
No, but that would have literally gone against the grain of what Slot's saying when he's saying he wants maximum pace up front, because Kvaratskhelia is not maximum pace.
Unless you get Kvaratskhelia, but you're getting a really pacey striker. Maybe that would be the difference.
Even if it's like Shirky drift. Shirky would be an outlier because Shirky playing on the wing, you'd look at him and go, he's not very pacey. But Shirky can beat 3 players and put a ball on the sixpence. Kvaratskhelia is like that. So yeah, they might want pace. Well, pace is probably what Slot wants, but Kvaratskhelia is such an outlier that you kind of just you'd have to double. You can't do one-on-one defending with Kvaratskhelia. He has to be doubled up on.
Do we actually look for a left winger this summer? If they took the Diaz this summer,
I think so.
If Diaz is willing to stay at Liverpool and accepts a new contract, he stays. I don't.
It's definitely now or never. He's got 2 years left. If Liverpool are going to learn anything from the Van Dijk situation, it's sell him now or he signs a new deal.
So if he says, "Yeah, I want to stay," they sort out a new deal. They give Diaz a brand new contract. They're not letting Gakpo go. So
Gakpo will be here next season.
Are we actually going to buy a left winger in the summer then?
I think it depends on the opportunities in the market. Or Rodrigo apparently wants out. Barcola apparently wants out. Morgan Rogers might have to be sold. Like
I don't want either of them personally.
Barcola's got that pace that they're talking about, and so
take Barcola or Rodrigo, Drew.
They don't move me at all, man.
No, I'm not moved.
I'm being deadly serious. They don't move me at all. I'm not saying they're rubbish players, and I'm going to be annoyed if Liverpool sign them. They don't move me at all, though. They don't. They really don't.
So there is another player Liverpool have been linked with, and that's Morgan Rogers. Obviously, he's quick, attacking, plays right wing, number 10. What do we think of this? Because I think Villa, according to what the media is saying, they might have some financial issues going into next season if they don't make Champions League, especially. What do we think of Rogers? Obviously, he'd be homegrown. That would help us in that department. He's quick, he's energetic, he can score a goal. He's got that work rate that, by the look of it, Slot likes because it frees up other players in his team to do their jobs. Well, what are we saying, guys? Rogers, Cal? Smoke screen, legit looking at? What are we looking at here?
I think he's a very good player. He's a player that gets you off your seat, isn't it? Like, he gets the ball, he drives, he's got good dribbling. The only thing is, would we see that at Liverpool very much? Because teams usually sitting deep against us. I kind of want someone who's a bit of someone who can pick a lock, someone who can thread that eye of a needle pass. I don't think Rodgers is that type of player. Fantastic player, by the way. I think he's really good. I'd like us to have that player that it's 88 minutes on the clock. Remember Shaqiri used to do this. Shaqiri would come off the bench. We need a goal. We play him centrally, and you just pick up that ball in that half space and thread a perfect pass through, and then someone's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, whether it be Mane, Jota, or Salah, and then it's a goal. I want a player like that. Morgan Rogers is excellent. I don't know if he's the sort of creator that we need. I think we need someone who's a real pass or real magician there now.
Yeah, I
mean, it depends. The thing is, Cal, we can't have a magician if we're going to continue with the tactic of Slot letting Salah have less responsibility. That's the thing, because it has to be somebody who's going to do dog work, which Rodgers will do, and that's why I think it might be a legit link.
You're spot on, Drift. The only thing I'd push back on there, though, is if we signed a natural destroyer, then I think we could accommodate that. You're right. With Graven Mack at the moment, we can't accommodate a Shirky or Morgan Rogers or someone like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't.
Keep talking about them, Cal. I don't want them.
I didn't even. I just said they're available. I
tell you what the thing. I think the thing with Rodgers that will confuse me a little bit though. You lot know already. I've been talking about how much I like him all season, but for me, he's a box-to-box 8, not a 10. He's a ball carrier. He's not a great. He's not a better finisher than Szoboszlai, so we'd probably be just as frustrated with the output. No, I don't. He's not a better finisher than.
No,
I don't think he's a better 10. Finisher. No, he can play 10, but I think he's best as an 8. I think being on the halfway line, turning and driving is better for getting the best out of Rodgers than having his back to goal further up the field. So if you're going to play him, I would prefer you played him in an 8 than a 10. And again, that's not to say I don't think he can't play.
No,
10.
you got a point.
I just think he's better facing goal than back to goal. Do you get what I mean? And I think your number 10 needs to be better with their back to goal because a lot of the time that's how they receive the ball. Do you get what I mean? With their back to goal.
I think after listening to Salah after we won the league, them celebrations and his interview he did, I see why Szoboszlai is so important to the team there.
Mm.
I understand why Szoboszlai is important to what Slot wants to do.
I mean, I've been saying this
because if Salah's not working back and you've got an attacking fullback, because our fullbacks they're attacking fullbacks. Yeah. So if you've got attacking fullbacks or a right winger who just basically is told the manager, you know what, if you want me to do my stuff, I'm getting older. I don't need to drop back and defend so much. And he's like, all right, no problem. Then you need a runner. You need a runner there. So that's why Szoboszlai is so up and down. That's why he's box to box basically on right hand side of the pitch. And I actually think Szoboszlai's performance improved as well during the last few weeks of the season as well. I think
Szoboszlai was wicked for the majority of the season. I think he had a shaky start and there was a few dips, but generally speaking, I think for 70% of the season, Szoboszlai was really good. I think it's a bit disingenuous for people to just crash on him and act like he didn't do anything. Like I know he frustrates us, but I think it's extremely disrespectful to act like he's not important.
I think the issue is that there's not been enough rotation with Szoboszlai and Elliott. I think if there's more rotation, I don't think there'll be an issue.
And that's the important thing about this summer because there must be a reason. So Harvey Elliott is not. After what I'm going everything by Salah's conversation he had that full time in that interview he did. If Salah's saying, look, I'm going to be a basically an inside forward sort of striker now where I don't have to worry about my defensive responsibilities. I'll walk around the pitch, I'll get me opportunities, I'll give you the numbers. Then you can't have Harvey Elliott playing in midfield, can you? Because he's not going to do what Szoboszlai does to let Salah stay up further up the pitch.
I'm not gonna look at the screen when I say this because I shudder to think what both of your reactions are going to be. I would play Harvey as Salah's backup next season.
No, I hear you.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's a bit wild, bro.
I can understand it because when he does play, when you watch Harvey Elliott play, he does like to go into that right area of the pitch.
Not just that, I don't think we can sign an attacker and say you're going to rotate with Salah. We can't go get Kudus. We can't get Kudus and go
right.
You'll rotate with Salah.
You'll get your game here and there.
Right. Someone said the rest cow. You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm taking a tiny sample size and running with it because I'm shameless because we're league champions. I watched what Elliott did against Tottenham. And I think he could become a deep line playmaker. I don't know how. I don't know how you get him in. Because I don't think
that's wilder than playing him right wing, bro.
No, I don't think he's got the defensive awareness to play 6. I wouldn't play him in a 6. But I watched what he did in that 15 minutes or whatever. The way he was just calling for the ball, getting it, turning, popping it about, and dictating the play and that. And I just think somehow you have to get him central. And in a role where it's just about his creativity.
Drift, it would be ugly what would happen to Elliott.
I think we all
realize we ain't got many people in our entire squad more creative than Elliott. I think people are sleeping on how creative.
No, you're right, but there's not many people weaker in the squad than Elliott as well.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't play 6. I'm not getting him in the 6.
I know. So what you're trying to say is, Drift.
Maybe like if you've got a brutish destroyer next to him, like, and then he's like. When he gets on the ball, I'm telling you, we can find a way He is so creative.
I think the only way Harvey Elliott plays to Liverpool if there's no Mo Salah in that team.
He has to play right wing.
Because if you had a right winger that was a young right winger that's quick, that's up and down, yeah, you could easily stake Harvey Elliott in the 10.
I just saw Eddie's comment.
Look, I'm telling you lot now. I'm telling you lot now. This is the same people told me when I said Joey can do certain things, and
he played DM twice, Drew. We're not gonna let you get away with this, bro.
And he did it very well.
I don't think we're ever under Slot. I just don't think we're going to get a destroyer.
And again, like I said, I'm not saying Elliott should play 6 or have a defensive role in the team. I don't think he's good enough to do.
You're asking him.
Even if you play him in the 10, but you have him in a much deeper role of a 10 than what would traditionally be seen as a 10. So he's still halfway line-ish, picking the ball up. And like I'm telling you, the way he can pop the ball around and he's got that vision, if you can just find a way to get him centrally into a creative role within the team, Elliott cooks. I'm telling you, man, Elliott will cook, man. I've seen enough. I've seen enough of it.
Who would you rather in the 10 drift, Elliott or Shirky?
See, I want the shiny new toy in it, so I'm going to say Shirky, but I probably think Elliott does better.
All right. Oh, I don't. I love Elliott, by the way. The reason why I say Elliott right wing, is because I think we need to rotate Salah next season. Salah's here for 2 years at the moment. If he has another great 2 years, who knows? We can potentially extend his contract again. But I'm going under the assumption he's here for 2 more years. Next season, I think we consolidate what we've got, try and get number 21. But Salah needs to be rotated. I think because how much Elliott loves the club, because he knows the club well, and because he's played that position, I think we can sell to Elliott and go, look, you didn't get many minutes.
That's a madness.
you didn't get many minutes this season, but look, we're going to rotate Salah a bit more this season. We don't think you playing in the 10 works for what we need, but you playing out on the wide area where you can cut and you can drift into central areas and pull back at overlaps, I actually think works well for Elliott as the backup, quote unquote, right winger for next season. I think Shirky is Elliott on steroids. I think he's got a better shot than Elliott with both feet. He's got a better eye of the needle pass, even though Elliott has got a great eye of the needle pass as well. He's stronger on the ball. He's got a bit more pace and he's got more trickery. But I think you can have both of them in the squad.
Again, I don't have a problem.
So that's what I'm saying. I keep Elliott and bring in Shirky.
Remember, this is predicated on Shirky not being a Liverpool player because we have no idea.
Well, I'm hearing tonight that Man United are favourites to sign Shirky anyway.
I'd throw up. I'd actually throw up.
I'm not going to lie. Shirky's a dickhead if he goes Man U. Why would anybody go Man U?
Oh, my goodness. I'd throw up in a bucket if that happened.
But look, there is a reason Harvey Elliott doesn't play for Liverpool under Arne Slot. And
it's his physicality.
Yeah, I just think... No, not Man United. Sorry, Arsenal. It's Arsenal.
Oh, my gosh. That's even worse.
Not Man United. It's Arsenal. It just came back.
You know why I don't believe that? Because Arteta doesn't like people who think for themselves. So I don't believe
I think they're trying to get rid of Odegaard because he's absolutely truss.
Yeah, but I still don't believe that they would go and buy a player that... Because he's a Maverick. And Arteta's proved he can't manage Mavericks. So how would he deal with Shirky then?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
we'll see. So sick.
But yeah, like it's true. Does anyone see Harvey Elliott at a club next season?
Yes.
I think it's 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm 50-50. Let's go through other players. Endo.
I hope.
That's depending on whether we get another centre midfielder or not. If we don't, then he stays. If we do, then he will go, in my opinion.
Luis Diaz.
Yes, he'll stay.
Yes.
And okay, Ibu Konate.
Yes.
Yes. Now that Virgil signed, yeah, I think
does he get his contract? You reckon getting what he wants?
I think they'll look at it and go, yeah.
So I know you got to go quickly, Drift, but quick question here to you guys before you go, Drift. So Liverpool apparently been linked with a certain Stiller today. So if certain, I think Paul Joyce said it. Liverpool are looking at a midfielder.
I'm going to be told I'm not doing my job if I don't stop Cal from talking during this segment.
So on Stiller,
I get shouted at all the time for not stopping you from talking about play. I'm actually being like punished at this point and blamed.
So I'll take all the blame. Right. So
Remember, that's not me saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I get abused.
I want to know who's reaching out to you, bro. That's what I want to know.
You know, a few of them you can guess. You can guess a few.
We got right. There's two kind of them holding playmaking midfielders that we're looking at. Yeah, you got Stiller and you got Walton. They go both for it. I think they're both going to be around the £60 million mark.
Bring both.
Now, Walton, you got to add another 20, 25 M's on there.
Since Walton's come back from his injury, I've been watching him. The man is so good. He's reading of the game is excellent. Yeah, his reading of the game is very good, and he moves the ball forward very quickly as well. He moves the ball forward. He's very good. In my opinion, right now, what Slot wants to do: Walton, Gravenberch, McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Szoboszlai.
Oh, you missed.
I still worry a little bit about Walton's overall physicality. For like, you know, those games where you're playing like Brentford away and all that, and it's gonna get like real physical. I'm still a little bit iffy about Walton giving us that brutishness in the midfield. That is what we all have agreed we need. We got Gravenberch is too silky with no aggression. We need the opposite, right?
He lives in South London, Drift. He'll be all right, man. He'll be all right, bro.
Walton is a top talent, man. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not gonna lie, I still want somebody a little bit more brutish than that.
So now, what was the last Palace game? I saw him smashing players.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, he was smashing players.
I ain't got no issue with Walton though.
I think he's very Slot midfield, like what Slot would want in his midfield, because he moves the ball forward at pace. He moves it, and you know he wins a lot. When you watch Walton play, he wins a lot of his challenges higher up the pitch. So if you've got a midfielder who can win challenges higher up the pitch, you've got more chances of winning games and scoring goals. Because
I don't know if I want my DM high up the pitch though, because if we get caught in transition,
do you know what? He's many of these players
not the quickest.
Many of these players ain't really DMs anymore, as we know them to be.
Let's have a look at Adam Walton's pace.
They're more. They're not destroyers, are they? They're ball playing, deep line playmakers. That's what they are now, isn't it? That's what they are. His interceptions are very good as well. But
Paul Smith just said what I wanted to say, but I'm not allowed to because I've been embargoed. Paul Smith.
There you go. Yeah, Michael Carrick was a baller, man.
I was one of them people that didn't rate Carrick's defensive attributes as much as his forward and creative play, though. So it depends what type of DM you're looking for.
Carrick was good defensive.
I don't think Slot wants
not the way we want him to be in our team.
I think Slot will want Walton.
Right, AI couldn't even give me a real speed. They just said in EA Sport.
I think Walton Gravenberch.
He's a 68 in EA Sport. That is not a good look, bro.
Yeah, no, he's not very quick. He's not very quick, but
and that's what I mean. I want my DM to have some pace, man.
Do you need to be quick though? If you've got intelligent,
I think you do, bro. I think you do.
Pace can definitely help.
Was Fab ever quick?
You need pace, man. You need pace.
No, he wasn't. But Gini Wijnaldum and Hendo alongside him were quick enough to do it.
And Szoboszlai and Gravenberch should be around.
No, do you know what? I think Flacco was a lot quicker than people remember.
Yeah, but Gravenberch has got that long leg, saying he where like Gakpo, where he looks a lot quicker than actually he is, sort of thing.
Peak Flacco was quicker than people remember. He wasn't slow.
He was. He kind of was, you know, Drew.
No,
I remember watching him pre-season, bro. I think Foden ran away from him. It was hard to watch.
I've seen him square up to players who've got pace and keep up with them. I'm not saying he was rapid, but he was quicker than people remember.
You don't actually need that much pace out your midfielders if you're keeping the ball for 90% of the time.
But it's good to have it there if you need it.
Yeah, but then that's why you got other players around who can get back and stuff. And then when you got people like Virgil who's still quick and Konate who's quick at the back as well, it benefits it. Like you can have a bit more of a cultured midfielder.
You know what? I know this is going to sound like I'm just throwing my toes out the pram, but I'll leave you lot with this. Of all the players we've named, of all the players that we've said, I don't think any of them are crap. Stiller, Wharton, all good players.
No, go on.
If the season starts,
better than Belabor.
If the season starts and Belabor isn't a Liverpool player, I'm just gonna fucking crash out. This is the summer. This is it. I can't watch. I've seen Basuma leave. Then I watch Caicedo leave. I can't watch Believers.
Oh, boo-hoo to the brother gets all the players he wants at Liverpool, barring 2 or 3. Boo-hoo Drifty, bro.
I can't watch Believer go to another team. And again, we drop the ball. I can't, man. It has to be this year. It has to be, man.
I don't think Believer leaves Brighton.
I'll be happy with that because it means there's still an opportunity to get him, right? So, yeah. But I can't see Believer at Brighton next season, Cal. He's too good, man. Somebody's going to come and get him. Somebody's going to come and get him.
I like Believer as well. I just don't know if there's much difference between him and Wharton.
He's not a DM.
Yeah, he's stronger and he's quicker, bro.
He doesn't read the game with Wharton, though.
I know. I think he does, bro.
If we can't get Believer, Wharton's perfectly fine. If you ask me, if we can't get Believer,
they would be a perfect blending midfield together.
Yeah. If you get them both, 20 and 21, get them both, innit? That's how you're supposed to move.
All right, chill, Drift, man. No one do that.
No, man, you get them both.
Who in world football is going to buy a Wharton and Believer one summer?
Boy, if we were the Real Madrid of England, we would. That's what Real Madrid do.
Yeah, we ain't doing that, man.
The thing is, then you got too many players in that midfield area, ain't you?
Well, then that's when that would be when then I would put bias aside and I'll say, Endo, you know I adore you, bro, but this is for the greater good. And then Endo would have to be moved on. And then you would look in the midfield and you would think to yourself, all right, I put Jones back in the number 10. I don't play him in the pivot anymore. I put Jones back in the 10. And then
who'd actually miss out?
Yeah, then we're good to go.
No,
so then our midfielders will be McAllister, Belabor, Gravenberch, Wharton. Yeah, then that'll be our midfield.
Right. Who?
No. You send him on loan again, bro.
Who misses it? The thing is, though, if you played a 3, who's your first choice 3? Because I still think Szoboszlai plays in a 10 no matter what.
He has to. I hate the
idea.
I hear.
No, but guys, if you have McAllister and Belabor in your pivot, for example, which is the start, that's who mine would be. That would be my.
I don't think Grav gets dropped. I actually think this is the crazy one. Out of all of them, I think McAllister's the one who gets dropped.
Nah,
because,
no way.
No reason I say that, Slot loves Gravenberch, yeah. He will play one of Belieber or Wharton. He wouldn't play both of them.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
I might crack out if Matt gets dropped, Jay.
And then he'd play Szoboszlai up top in the 10. Matt can't play the 10. Everyone says Matt can't play the 10. Not in the way we want to play football as a team. McAllister can't play the 10 role.
Yeah, if he's got to cover all the ground from
McAllister is perfect in the position he plays because he goes into them positions. He's not stuck in them positions.
Yeah, no, that's why it'll be Mac and
perfect.
Belabor.
He's perfect in that position. So
and then Szoboszlai can stay in the 10 for me. But you know what? If you've got Mac and Belabor, Jay, you don't necessarily need the covering from Szoboszlai because Belabor would do a lot of that work. So then you could have maybe a creative 10.
That's why I've always said we'll only get one midfielder if we get a midfielder.
You know, but people can't say that Mac is not a 10 when he literally himself said till he came to the Premier League, that was where he played. So he's capable of doing it. Whether it's his best suited role,
he can.
Is a different conversation. But
he
played there in Argentina, so he's definitely.
It wouldn't work for the way we want to play, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't want to see McAllister doing Szoboszlai's job. Do you know what I mean? That would work for him. And
but you know who could do Szoboszlai's job though in our team is Jones. Jones could do that.
Well,
you could play Jones in the 10 and he'll do all that dog work.
Apart from Szoboszlai, that's the only other person who's played there this season.
Jones, Jones can do that.
Look, McAllister definitely play in the 10. But look, McAllister's. I actually like where McAllister plays. I think where he plays for Liverpool in that deeper role, ghosting into them attacking areas of the pitch, it benefits him more from then being there and being marked out of the game. Because he can ghost into them forward areas. When you looked at him at Brighton, he played a double pivot with Caicedo. Caicedo stayed deep. McAllister was then allowed to drift into them spaces in the pitch.
Argentina as well, Argentina Enzo Fernandez.
He's perfect in that role, and then that's why I think we just get one midfielder in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone like Walton we're looking at, or a Rodgers maybe. Or Rodgers would make sense because then Szoboszlai's got competition in that area of the pitch, and it's two profiles that are very similar. Shirky, obviously. I'd love Shirky, but I don't want to see Shirky doing Szoboszlai's work.
I don't think we'd have to. If we actually did it and bought Shirky and a holding player, or if Trent does go and we get a more defensive-minded right back, then
well, just remember we got Ram who actually gave us the official numbers, and Szoboszlai officially ran double the amount that Shirky ran this season, which shows what the difference of work rate would be if you brought him in. But boys,
it's the way we want to play. Yeah, big up, Drift. Thanks, man.
Big up for the rest of the show. Make sure you smash the like button, and man, love as always, people. I'm gonna bounce, but big up, man.
Go and have your M&S yum yum. Big up.
I wish, bro. I wish. But big up.
This summer's gonna be it's gonna be an important summer for Liverpool, ain't it? Because Liverpool this time around need to maintain and add to the quality they got at their football club after winning a Premier League title. And I actually believe for once the club actually know that.
Yeah.
And we're going to buy players. I think, look, I'm never bothered by who we buy. I'm not one of these guys who demands this player from that team and that. We have got to stop worrying about where we buy players from, team-wise.
Yeah,
it's not the team we're scouting; it's the player.
It's the player. Yeah.
So, how many players do you think we buy this summer? Because at this moment in time, I think we're definitely going to buy 3 straight away, and then we'll look to add as opportunities come.
I would go 3 or 4 players in this summer. I'd like to bring in 5.
Yeah, I think 5 could be a possibility as well.
I think we'll bring 3, maybe 4. I don't think we're bringing 5. I'll be very shocked if we bring in 5.
4's a great number, by the way. Still a great number of players coming in.
But yeah. I just don't want to leave ourselves short. It's because we've left ourselves short for a few summers and Januarys now. I'd rather us go hard in this window so that for the next couple of windows we don't have to, or we just kind of put fires out if they come up in the squad. But again, I think a lot depends on Trent as well. If we lose Trent, we're gonna have to look at what type of right back we get, and then I think that will have a knock-on effect on the midfield as well. Because if we're losing Trent at right back, who's a creative spark for most of our team, then where are we getting that creativity from now?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Mr. Sinclair says it. We don't get Isaac or type, then it's business as usual. Big summer for me means ready-made players, not for project. Give them time. Cal said it. I hear you. I think you can buy a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I think you can buy a mixture of both. George versus the Op had a bully, no tech mid this season. Not a tech mid this season.
Yeah. Like, I'm guessing that's against like Everton's and Newcastle's and Nottingham Forest. I get it.
Alex, I've got your super chat. I'm going to read that at the end of the show because it's a funny one. Okay, I'm going to read it at the end of the show, man. Big Alex.
Who would you go for then, Jay? If I said to you, Jay, you got open checkbook. Apart from Valid Shashenko, who you bring into the club?
Oh yeah, should be my first choice.
Look at you all flustered now.
It's the radiator. The heating's on. I would, if I could, so I would get Julian Alvarez. He's my guy. Left back, I would go get a left back. I'm not silly to think like that. Probably the best left back in the world plays for PSG. He's probably unattainable.
Yeah,
you got to look around. I still think Kirkez going forward, Altonori going forward is an upgrade on everything we got. I'd leave Robbo as second choice because I think Robbo's experience is much needed.
Yeah,
and he's still decent enough to be second choice for me. I'd get a centre back option. I'd go and get Hoyson if I could. 19 years of age. He's got very good ability. He's not massively great in the aerial duels wise, but neither Saliba. But doesn't mean he's not a great centre back. He's very calm on the ball, very calm centre back. I'd have him as third choice, and then that would be the three I would go with straight away, and then I would look for opportunities in the market after that. Because the midfield option, I think we just need, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch. This will only be their third season together, and they're still in their 20s.
Yeah,
you don't need to ship any of them out or move too much there. I think you just need to add one to it that can rotate with Grav enough next season that Slot can trust, that he can bring in and go, right, Grav can have a couple of games out here, this player can come in. Because he couldn't do that with Endo because he weren't the profile for him to come into that position. So I look for that later on in the window. And that'd be four. And that gives him options then, because then he's got two left-back options that he can trust and rotate. He's then got three centre-back options that he can trust and rotate. If Trent stays as well, he's got Trent and Conor Bradley. So he's got two right-backs that he can trust and rotate. Then he's brought that extra midfielder in, which means Gravenberch can rest. So then he's got four there. And then you've got a Curtis Jones that he trusts, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, the new guy. You got five midfielders there. Nice rotation in the three. Then you got the new striker in, whoever that is, and Luis Diaz maybe as the second choice, number 9, two that he trusts.
Yeah.
The left winger, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but him and Gakpo, and then you got Salah on the right. And I think that he's got more chance then of rotating players and keeping players fresh by still keeping the core of our team at the same time. And I think that's enough to go again next season. I really do.
I hear it. For me, I mean, the goalkeeper's pretty much sorted now that Mama's coming in.
Yeah.
Right back, if Trent goes, then I'd look at someone like Olaena, someone who's a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
If he stays, then obviously we're good at right back. Centre back, I'm on the Hoyson shout. I do rate him. I don't think he's the be all and end all, but I do rate him.
No.
Hato I like at left back because he can also cover centre back and he's more defensive as well.
That's come back up today, apparently, them rumours of Hato.
Yeah, I think Hato would be really good. Like Kirkez is good, but I actually would prefer Hato over Kirkez at this point.
Because he can do two jobs, can't he? So
yeah, precisely. In midfield, everyone knows my dream sign would be Camavinga.
Yeah.
If we had Camavinga and you'd have Grav, Matt, Kama, Jones, and Bashetic as your 5 pivot players. I think that's about as great as it can get.
That's as good in the league to get you.
Shirky and Szoboszlai for the 10s, Salah and Elliott for the right wing, Gakpo and a left winger who becomes available. I think a top quality left winger will become available in the summer. It just depends on who. And then I know it's going to sound crazy, but if Diaz stays, run me Liam Delap.
Yeah, I rate Liam Delap. Liam Delap's an interesting one because he's got a lot of goals this season. I know he scores penalties as well. But if you notice with Liam Delap, a lot of goals he creates by himself as well.
Yeah.
So if you got, if he's playing in a better team where he hasn't got a worry, can you imagine Mo Salah setting Liam Delap up?
Delap can drop deep as well and link play as well.
Liam Delap's hold-up play is underrated. He's quite big physically as well, Liam.
Yeah,
he's
got a decent pace as well.
Yeah, he can move. He's got a good finish on him. I actually think Liam Delap's going to be a very good player in the future. I think because he plays for Ipswich, people will look down on him. His name's Liam Delab. Everyone remembers his dad's only famous for long throws.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've got to get out of that and look at the player that he is. He's actually a very decent footballer, and he will score more goals than Darwin or Jota next season if he was playing for Liverpool.
Yeah,
straight away, that's an upgrade.
Yeah,
straight away, it's not great. He will score the goals that Darwin didn't this season and seasons before. So you're upgrading that position. It's not going to be fashionable. It's not going to be like, Liam Delap. But it could be a stroke of genius. There's a bit of Harry Kane's about him, if you ask me. You know, he has got that about him.
I think Delap's one of those players, whoever he goes to next, he could be there he'll either be there for a while or he'll be priced out of a move for Liverpool in the future.
Yeah, I mean, like Scrap says, Delap's goals are mostly in transition. I think that's a great point. Also, in the Premier League, no matter how you play, it's always mostly going to be in transition a lot of the time. There's a lot of turnover in Premier League football because it's very fast-paced. So you're always going to get a lot of turnover. But he's also very good at holding up the ball, and I think he can change his game enough to move forward. And if you look at all the other strikers, Ekitike is best on turnover as well. Gyökeres is best on turnover as well in transition.
Yeah.
The elites are your Isaacs and what's his name? Julian Alvarez, maybe.
I don't think Alvarez moves in the summer. I'd be very
it'd be hard to do. I wish Liverpool done it the other year. They would have sorted everything out. Isaac, if Newcastle get Champions League football, you got a Champions League player. That transfer fee's going to go even higher because of that. It might be unattainable, not just for us, for everyone in the world, to be fair.
Even if they don't, I don't see him moving. I tell you, if he becomes available, I tell you who I see going in for him, PSG.
Yeah, PSG get him. That's just game over for everyone.
I'm not saying he goes PSG, but I can definitely see PSG pushing.
And there's the other one, LFC Times. And big up my man K-Mac. He talks about it a lot. He's Osherman. He's Osherman, the one we ain't really linked with. And we know what Edwards and co like to do. Always go for the guy. All the smoke screens they throw out there to get the player they really want. What about Osherman? If Osherman was the one.
I think Osherman goes to Saudi or Chelsea.
So the former Chelsea player said that's where Osherman's going, didn't he? I can't remember his name now. He said he's mates with him, ain't he?
Oh, John Obi Mikel.
Yeah, John Obi Mikel. He said that's where he's going.
I can live. Look, here's the thing: Osherman improves Chelsea. I just don't know him by himself if he improves Chelsea enough. Chelsea have got a lot of work. They need a new spine. Chelsea need a centre back or two. They need a goalkeeper. You can arguably say they need another centre midfielder, and they need a striker. I don't know if Chelsea get all of that in one window. If they get Osherman, they'll be harder to beat. Absolutely harder to beat, and they'll be way more of a goal threat. But I actually don't think Jackson's been that bad this season either. When he's been available.
Yeah, he's done well. And Jackson's more naturally a wide player, I think, like an inside forward sort of.
Yeah, a bit of both. Jackson's a good player. I've turned around on the whole Jackson thing.
I think if Jackson had Osherman next to him, I think they'd be even better together sort of thing.
Yeah.
Osherman likes to play off link. That's why him and Cravel would get great together.
Yeah.
So he likes to play off a link player.
But that's the thing at Chelsea. Have they really, apart from Cole Palmer, they haven't. I can't think of a creative winger. Neto can be creative with his crossing, etc. Sancho can be as well, I suppose. I don't know.
So the striking option's a weird one in the summer. We're definitely going to get one. Benjamin Sesko's always going to be the one that's going to be landed about.
I hate to say it. I know a lot of Liverpool fans hate him. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Liverpool.
His profile is very good, to be fair to him.
I don't think he's as bad as people make out.
He's not very quick. He's actually very quick. Just start to look at it because he's like 6'4" or whatever he is.
Yeah.
He's actually very quick. He's got great height, good hold-up ability, can score a goal, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst signing. But I want upgrades. Like, everyone's a gamble apart from the elite strikers.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a gamble.
There's something about Liam Delap, man.
I agree. I think Liam Delap in a team with you got Luis Diaz and Salah and Gakpo around you.
Yeah.
McAllister and all that, and McAllister and Graham Birch behind you, and if Trent stays him at right back, I think Liam Delap scores goals. I really do.
Yeah. The worry I have with Delap is I wonder if he goes to somewhere where he'd be a guaranteed start, like Man United, for example. He's a guaranteed start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think they're getting Cunha as well, won't they? So, and that's the other one, Cunha.
I think Cunha will play as a part of the. United play with 2 10s behind the striker. I think Cunha will be the left 10, Diallo will be the right 10, and then.
Here's my one with Cunha. Is Cunha doing what he's doing this season because he wants the big club?
Yeah, his attitude stinks as well. Man.
Remember, Craig Bellamy always used to be excellent when contracts were up.
Yeah.
In his contract year, he'd be absolutely fantastic.
Unplayable.
And then you'd sign him up and he goes back to normal Craig Bellamy after that.
Yeah.
Is that a bit with Cunha maybe? Because I don't remember anyone asking for Cunha last season.
Don Hassan did, I think. Or Tom, one of the two.
Yeah.
Cunha's good. Cunha is good. His attitude I'm not a big fan of. And I don't think we need a Cunha type striker. I don't think Cunha's a striker. I think he's a 10.
He's a floater, ain't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that old-fashioned floater?
Yeah.
They can just drift around and grab lots of goals.
Almost has a free roll at Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets that luxury at a bigger club.
Double A says Delap could turn into Kane and bang 25 goals a season on a regular if we are gambling on a risky striker signing. Then I don't mind gambling on him.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is, though, 30 million. That's what he is.
It's not a gamble nowadays.
30 million. Skangan think Delap and Oshman would do. I'll pick up everyone is Delap better than Zertsky? I don't know. Zertsky's a number 10 though, ain't he? He's not really a.
I don't think Zertsky's rubbish. I think Delap's
a good footballer. Delap's a better. Zertsky's not really a goal scorer, is he? He's more of a creative.
He's a link man.
Yeah.
Zertsky would have been like the perfect understudy for Bobby Firmino in his prime, for example, for a Klopp system.
I'm with you, Scraps. It's just Cunha's thing off the pitch. That's the that's the issue. You can get away with that at Wolves because they need a maverick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't really get away with that at a top club, can you? Because his Instagram stuff that he did never really hit the media. It was only that YouTubers found it, so looking at Instagram. Yeah. If he did that as a Liverpool player, that'd be plastered everywhere. It'd be plastered everywhere. But I don't know. Delap came out, thinks he could be a Michu.
Nah, I think Delap's got something about him, man.
Yeah, there is saying even a lot of players. Delap on his own isn't a title retaining or winning striker if you want top 4 in gamble. Gangadik, the thing is, we ain't got a striker now and we won the league.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
think we've got to move away from the name, though, a little bit there, Gangadik, because let's say we didn't have Diaz there. Let's say we just, I don't know, let's say we were keeping Nunes or Jota and Delap's coming in, then I'd understand that. But in an ideal world, they're both moved on. Delap comes in, and then we're all right. But I don't think the name don't mean a lot. We bought big names in the past. Like Nunes was a big name when we bought him. I think everyone forgets that.
Darwin was one of the biggest names in Europe when we got him.
Yeah, and like it hasn't worked. Jota wasn't a big name, and Jota up until this season works extremely well.
Yeah, Mateta's a good player. Yeah. There's good strikers out there. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Benjamin Sesko, to be absolutely fair.
I wouldn't either. Remember, I called that from quite early, Jay, just in terms of the relationship we have with the RB group and everything. I wouldn't be surprised. Sesko is a good striker. He doesn't move me like that, but I do think he's underrated by a lot of our fan base. I think our fan base look at him and think he's this dead striker and he's Nunes 2.0. He's nothing like Darwin Nunes.
No.
His playing style is nothing like Darwin Nunes at all.
I mean, Isaac's obviously the one. I just don't know Liverpool or any club's going to put up 130, 140 million for him. You know, I just don't know. I don't know. If we got Isak, then it's game over, isn't it? So,
If we get Isak, wrap up the Premier League.
it's game over. Big up Alex. Maybe, man. I'm not going to read that, but big up, man. Yeah, maybe, mate. I'm not sure.
I can delve into that. If Liam Delap was like had a fancy name, like let's say his name was Delapio.
Oh, I hear what you're saying that way. Yeah,
like
yeah.
The fan base would go crazy for him.
That is very true. It's because everyone knows who his dad is. That
as well. And just because it's Liam Delap and he's come from Ipswich, I tell you what, guys, Gini Wijnaldum came from Newcastle, Andrew Robertson came from Hull, Shaqiri came from Stoke. We've signed players from relegated clubs and they've done pretty well for us, guys.
Mane and Van Dijk came from Southampton.
They came from Southampton.
It's just we've got to profile the player, not the club. Also, you got to remember where Delap came from. He's a Man City youth
exactly, and
academy player.
To be able to play football,
and they are taught to play. So, yeah. Big Alex, he says, off topic, was thinking the last day of a gorilla sat in the jungle listening to many men waiting for 100 dudes to try and jump him. By the way, Alvarez soon. Big up, man.
Big up.
Yeah, this 100 men gorilla stuff is getting out of hand, man. It is
I hope
everywhere.
I hope it never happens.
It's everywhere right now. Someone did it the other day, didn't they? 1 million men against 100,000 gorillas, and they put it in the simulation.
Who won?
The gorillas. It just, how do you? Was it? Who was saying it the other day? I heard someone say it the other day that the gorilla will get tired.
Not quicker than a human. They got more endurance than humans.
It's I don't even know where it came from. Did someone just say this on social media?
Randomly said it on Twitter,
and it just went viral.
It's blown up.
You know, someone's going to try it though, don't you?
That's why I'm scared. Someone will. Yeah.
You know, there's going to be some mad human that's going to try this, don't you? That's the problem.
It's not going to end well. I pray to God it doesn't happen, but it's not going to end well if it does.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. No one should be that guy, man. Leave him alone. Honestly says, Hugo Ekitike is the one to watch, but I'd rule out Matheus Cunha and Liam Delap. Victor Osimhen is another one that's been linked, but I have not heard anything on that yet, says Lewis Steele. We did talk about Hugo Ekitike, to be fair.
Yeah. He's good. I just very inconsistent, isn't he?
Hugo Ekitike, is there much difference between him and Liam Delap?
I think Delap's a better finisher than Ekitike.
I don't know, man. It's a mad one. Big Out Gang said we just came off winning the league, resigned re-signed two of our world-class players we should be attracting right now and sign a mixture of ready-made and project players. We do always prize ourselves out. No, I'm with you, Gangadee. I'm with you.
That I agree with Gangadee.
I'm with you, man. We're all with you there. It's what it's what the ready players are, though. So we might buy ready players, yeah, but there might be people that don't like them ready players. That's going to be the thing. Like we might get players like the striking options. The striking options are Isaac. No, who's the elite strikers in world football right now? Isaac, Haaland,
Kane,
Lewandowski. They're all unattainable. And Liverpool go take a 32-year-old Harry Kane on £400,000 a week. It wouldn't make sense, would it?
I would do it, but the club's not going to.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for the club to do that. And then
Lapping Kane coming in for me would be the perfect situation.
Yeah, that'd be great. But when the club's talking about they want a bit more pace and Kane's only getting slower.
Yeah.
You don't want two 30-year-olds maybe in your attack either. I mean,
yeah.
So, and then you've got to look at the level below. The level below is your Ekitike's, your Osimhen's, your Liam Delap's maybe, or the Benjamin Sesko's, Opendas. They're the players we're probably looking at. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Big up Gangan, though. Much love, man. They went more for Ekitike than they did for Mamouche midway through a season. Don't make sense. Yeah, I don't know why we never went in for Mamouche.
No, as in he said they wanted more in terms of value.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't think they know they're not going to get that. They've got to put out there to try and attempt the market, though, isn't it? Mamouche has done well at City so far, though, I can't lie.
No, he has. But he don't really play as a striker. Have you noticed that he just plays left wing?
He's kind of off the left, yeah.
Yeah, he don't really play as a striker. Impulse it says to start, we need a DM, a centre back, then replace with players who can compete each positions, and we're ready to go again. Yeah, I agree, man. Look, I think if Liverpool re-sign Trent, which I just have this feeling they're going to, and we keep all three, we keep the core of our players, and we add players to this squad that Slot actually wants to use,
we're laughing.
Then we're better next season than when we are this season.
Yeah,
and I actually don't think Salah's goal returns going to diminish next season like a lot of people think. If he's allowed to play this way now, in this where he doesn't have to run back and defend and drop deep or anything like that, and he's allowed to stay up higher up the pitch, and we go and get an explosive striker that holds the line, that occupies centre backs a little bit more, Salah will get actually more room next season.
Yeah, agreed. I think he'll get more assists though if we get a striker.
Yeah, which means his numbers will still be quite high. So, yeah, I think.
Have you seen the rumours about Jonathan Tah going Man United?
I'm not a Jonathan Tah fan.
So, me personally, I would try and get Jonathan Tah on a free.
I'd try and get Jonathan Tah now.
29. But I think that if you're getting Jonathan Tah on a free, then you can negotiate whether you keep Joe Gomez or not potentially.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Jonathan Tah will probably come in for a big wage being a free, and you'd have to probably play him. And then he's not better than Konate or Virgil, is he? So
no, but if Konate's not there, you've got another experienced player there with pace and strength.
Yeah,
more strength. He's the quickest, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will be more looking for the future than the present, though. So
yeah, true. Could you not do both if it's a Jonathan Tah and a Hato, though?
Yeah, I mean, Hato at 18, 19, he's definitely the future.
I just think it's going to be very hard to get Huijsen in because he wants first team football, and I don't know how we offer that to him.
The only place he can go in the Premier League at the higher end is Chelsea if he wants first team football.
Yeah.
Because he's better than all the Chelsea centre backs. So that'd be, yeah. Do you know who I like? I like the Inter Milan player, the Inter Milan centre back, the young German. That's who I like. If I'm going to get a centre back, that's the geezer I'll probably go and get. Good footballer. But guys, we are going to leave it there. I don't think I've got any more supers. No, big up Gang and Deep. Big up everyone with supers. Big up Mr. Sinclair, Alex, Gang and Deep, Zia, Shane, Ash. Big up with the supers. Thank you very much, everyone, coming in today. Appreciate it. What have we done for likes? I haven't even looked at the likes. 475 people in the house at this moment in time.
Should be at least 400 likes.
And we're only on 194 likes, guys. Wow.
Come on, guys.
Smash that like button, guys. Mods in the chat. Make sure you're telling everyone to smash that like button when they're coming in. When you enter someone's house, you always wipe their feet first, don't you? So yeah,
exactly.
Hit that like. But yeah, that's it. Bissac. He's a Matip like centre back. Very, very good. Very good.
Really I think I've heard of him. There's also
really good. He enters midfield like Mbappe used to. Very good. Like Mbappe used to. Like Matip used to. So yeah.
Where does he play?
He's centre back. Plays in a back three for Inter Milan.
No, what team? Sorry,
Inter Milan.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bissac. Yes.
Yeah, Bissac. Yeah, very good, man.
Bastoni's still the guy, though, man.
He's arguably level with Bastoni this season. Very good. He's very good. Bastoni's quality though. Bastoni is quality. But guys, we're going to leave it there because it is late. It is a Thursday night. Appreciate everyone coming. Cal, thank you very much. Appreciate
Pleasure,
it.
bro.
Appreciate it, Drifty, as well. You got anything coming up this week? Coppish, Sanderson's? Anything coming up?
Sanderson show might do something tomorrow morning or release something during the day. If not, there'll be Saturday. Probably I'm not on Coppish tomorrow. I'm at a wedding, so you'll be seeing me on Coppish tomorrow. Not mine. But
Yeah, you're remarried.
Yeah.
Does she know?
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go, guys. And obviously you got Coppish will be doing a watch along on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. I'm going to the get. Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to do fan cams at the
You're
game.
doing fan cam around Chelsea, so there you go. So if you are around Chelsea at that game, go and see Cal, man. Go and ask him for a fiver. Get yourself a meal, and yeah, be there for you. But yeah, big up everyone. Appreciate you all being here on this late Thursday night, and yeah, enjoy, guys. I'll be back on the weekend now. Tomorrow is taking the kids out at the end of Friday. Got bank holiday this Monday as well, so I'll see what we're doing. But
they're going to be off on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, long weekend, man.
Oh,
long weekend. At least we ain't got to get up Monday for school.
Yeah, but they still wake up early, bro.
Cowpole.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Enjoy whatever you're doing, guys. I'll probably see you again on the weekend. So big up, guys. Much love.
Big up.